Welcome back to Rustification 2.1. We're going to continue on with the rust repair on this 69 Mercedes 280 and finished up the left rear wheel well area and the frame rail piece that we had to put in. So now we're going to move to the front wheel well, and again, this is another area that was repaired really so half-assed that I couldn't believe that somebody actually did this to this car. But I'll give you a look inside this wheel well and show you what I found when I really dug into this thing after I got it here and started taking the car apart. I found a lot of fiberglass, I found a lot of Bondo, I just found a lot of just wrong stuff. So we're going to fix it right with metal and get everything solid again so this car is good and sound structurally, and there won't be any issues with it probably for the remainder of the time that this owner will have this car. Should be anyhow. So what we got going on in here, this is the toe board area, and of course your wheel is moving, and it's constantly throwing material back here, and there is a filler piece that kind of closes off this opening, but it obviously doesn't do a very good job of keeping everything out, because as you can see, the end of the toe board would be about right here, and that's gone. This piece here is an inner support panel, and it should have a lip on it like it does up here. Should have a lip all the way down, or at least down here to where the toe board would attach to. Now if you look inside of here, you can see how they repaired the fender with all the Bondos just hanging out in there, and fiberglass patches and all kinds of stuff there. Just not good. Just not a good repair job done on this car last time. So I've got a patch panel for the toe board. I'm going to have to do a lot of fabrication over here, up front here. I've got to repair all this rocker panel where it's rusted out in here. I got to rebuild all this, figure out where it's supposed to be, because there's nothing left for me to go by to know exactly where it's supposed to go. But fortunately I was able to get toe board. I've got a repair panel for the fender. As you can see here, there's a patch panel that'll go in here, and that'll fix up the fender, take care of all the rust that's on that. Of course, like I said, I've got to rebuild the rocker panel with some flat stock that I've got, and we'll go on into the inside of the car and show you what's got to get done in there. Inside, the floorboard is needing repair. So I've got a new floor pan for it. Get my light set right here. Yeah, I got a new floor pan that'll take care of all this up front. I got some rust here along the edge where the floor pan meets the rocker panel. Again, I'll have to make pieces for this and repair the rocker panel. It's important to have this rocker panel fixed properly, because this is like the frame of the car. This is a unibody car. It doesn't have a frame. So the rocker panels are like your main front to rear frame rails, and they have got to be strong in order for this car not to start twisting and tweaking and moving and getting body panels out of alignment. I'm surprised nothing really has moved on it yet, but it just goes to show how well these Mercedes vehicles are built. So we'll put the toe board in. I'm not going to put the whole toe board in, mainly because I don't want to have to contend with the steering column area, which they don't cut out of the replacement panel. So I'll end up putting the majority of it in up to, there's another frame, not a frame rail, but there's a support piece that's underneath the toe board and the floorboard here. It runs up the toe board all the way and runs all the way back to this. There's a cross member piece back here it comes back to. I'll end up cutting it right on top of that piece and just putting in my toe board from the end over to here, and then I'll come up about 3 or 4 inches from the bottom where this is rusted and go across, so I don't have to worry about redoing any of these holes here that wires go through. I've got a new piece for the this is for the gas pedal. That's what the gas pedal mounts to. I bought a new one of those pieces. I don't know what happened to it, so I'll replace that. And the floor pan I'll probably replace up to the point here where the rust stops in the rocker panel, and I'll cut it across here again, just so I don't have to contend with any of the emergency brake stuff over here. And I'll replace, so you know, 80% of the floor pan will be replaced, and that'll make the floors good and solid on this side, the rocker panels good and solid on this side. And once I get that done, then we can move forward on this car up to the front fender areas, and there's more stuff. There's more and more rust on this car to fix, so it's going to be a long journey of rust repair. Lots of stuff that we got to take care of, but that's what we do here. We do repairs the right way. We make these cars good and solid again, not just patching over with fiberglass and Bondo and hoping for the best on down the road. So I'm going to bring you back periodically as I'm making these repairs and show you what I've done as I'm going along, just like I did with the inner wheel well repairs in the back. And we'll see what happens. I just wanted to give you a little update. I've been slicing and dicing on the front rocker section and inner panels here of this Mercedes for a little while, and it's kind of like you have to make your own jigsaw puzzle, and then you get to put the pieces together. I've got a few pieces that I've made so far. I have this curved piece here, which will go in here. Let's see if you can see that, but it's going to go in here behind where the toe board sits, and this will, the toe board, the outer edge of the toe board will attach to this. So I actually made this piece. This is one of the first ones I made, and then I have cut out this section here so that I could access the top of this rocker in order to cut it out. So I've got this piece fabricated, and this piece here will go in like so. And then once this is in, I can make this bottom section here and install this section here, that curved piece I just showed you. But before I put this in, I need to fix the rest of this rocker panel. So I've started making some pieces for it, and I've got this piece here made that I can put in. Then I could basically, I could put these other pieces together. Put that top piece for the rocker in. I can make that lower section, put my curved piece in, and then I can finish the rest of this rocker afterwards. And you see it's pretty bad. I got to make a section for here underneath. I got to redo the inside piece, and down the length of it, it's got some rust. So it'll be a few pieces. I think one more piece I might make is like I did on the back. I have to rebuild these reinforcement pieces where your jack goes. So I need to make a piece for here and have that ready to go in for when the rocker is back together. That's where we're at for now. I'm just going to keep making puzzle pieces, and sooner or later I'll get to put them all together. Alright, just a quick update on where we're at. I've started putting some of my puzzle pieces together, and the first thing I did was I made a small patch for this support here, right, little section there, little piece at the bottom, and then I put in my other curved piece I had made for this outer part of the cowl, and then I was able to get my top piece for the rocker set in and welded in. And I've gone ahead and sprayed some self-etching primer in there to give it some protection, because I have another piece that I've got made up that will go in here like so, and that'll basically reattach this down to the rocker how it's supposed to be, but it's going to close in the majority of that where it would be harder to paint it, so I went ahead and painted it now. I also got my support piece put in inside the rocker. I know some of this is hard to see, my light's dying. So we're moving right along, and one of the things I was doing to try and make sure I had these pieces put in right, I used a straight edge across here, because all these pieces will line up once they're in, and as you can see, there's no gap. So once I put that toe board piece in, it'll sit flush up against, it's going to sit on the top of here, and it'll sit flush here and here, so I can spot weld it along here. It'll come down and meet the rocker, and if you look at it this way, you can see the angle comes down. My angle is consistent down this way. So as I rebuild this rocker, I have to make sure that this angle stays the same, because my toe board piece is going to come down and hit all this, and it'll attach in here, here, and here on the inside of the rocker also, and that's going to give that back the strength in here and tie everything back together. So that's where we're at. I'm going to keep going and keep making pieces, and we'll eventually get this gaping hole closed back in. Okay, here's an update where we are with the Mercedes. I've got the rocker all back together. I've had to do it in some different pieces just to make it a little easier on me. I mean, the whole thing didn't need to be cut out, so remember this area was where the floor pan is attached to, so it rusted out where it was attached to, and this front section got all the debris from the road, so it rusted out there. So we've got all the parts back together, got the rocker solid again. I've painted the inside to help deter any rust on down the road. Ashton, what are you doing?
Nothing.
What in the world are you trying to do? I don't know about this, young man. So that's where we're at. It's a little ugly right now. I haven't had time to grind the welds down yet, but I've got the toe board panel fit, and I'm ready to get that put back in. I've got one little piece up here that I've got to make a small repair for, so we're going to take care of that and then get the toe board panel put back in, and then onto the floor pan, and that'll leave this side completed as far as the floor goes. And then all I got to do is fit this fender patch, and we'll have this section of the car finished. Where are you going, bub? What are you going to check on the car? Got it. Hold the knob and turn it all the way. Going out to work? See ya. Alright, we've got the front rust repairs about finished up on the front here on the left side. As you can see, I've got my toe board piece all welded in. Rocker panel was rebuilt. I had to put a small patch in up here on this frame rail, a small patch in here on this cross rail, and I got the lower fender patch installed, and this, for not being a Mercedes piece, actually fits very well. Body lines up nice. We got a nice door gap back here. I did have to do a little bit of modification to the edge here to get my door gap nice and consistent all the way up through here. But you know, that's to be expected. So I got some welds to grind, and that'll leave all this repair up here finished up. And I'm not going to bore you again with grinding welds. You've seen me do that plenty of times. So we'll get all that ground down and leave that ready for final body work to happen on this. And next we're going to move on to probably going to do the front. This front cross member piece here has to be replaced, both inside and outside pieces. So I've already got those, so I'll probably go ahead and get on that next on this. But before we do that, we're going to bring the Ford F-350 truck project back in and start working on the bed repairs. I've got 4 patch panels that need to go on that, so we'll get moving on with that. So that's going to end this video, and I appreciate everybody that's been following these projects. Remember to share these videos as much as you can. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, leave me some comments, like the video, all that good stuff that YouTube likes to see, and we'll keep bringing you more content. Thanks again.